So I'll put this on.
Hello, everybody. Today I'm joined with Gladys. Now, I haven't interviewed people for a while because I've been busy traveling and was trying to focus elsewhere. But Gladys, your message, it just came through, and I was like, I have to interview. And it's very early where you are right now. Where are you?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to interview me. I'm in London, in England. Yep. So it's 8 in the morning here, and it's
And we were
raining. It's cold.
talking. Initially, you're from Miami, and I used to go to Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale every year for Abraham Hicks cruise in March. And the weather is so good, and it's busy. And London is busy, but different kind. Miami vibe is different, right?
Very,
So,
very different. Completely different vibe.
so why
Yeah.
did you move to England? What was the?
Um, I came here. I'm quite very mature now. I'm 57, but I came here when I was 21
Oh
because
my
I worked for
God.
American, yeah, for American Airlines. I used to work for the airlines. And I just had a calling. I just felt like I wanted to come to London, England. I've always loved the stories and the history and everything about all the magical realism, but the rich history more than anything. And the medieval times, going back before that. I loved all the monarchy, the stories. I'm a romantic in that sense. And then I had the opportunity to come and visit with friends, and I just felt I had like a deja vu or like I've been here before feeling. I was only 21 at the time, and then nothing. My life went back to Miami, blah blah blah. Just carried on. And many years later, I ended up marrying, and I moved to Italy. So I lived there for 6 years, 7 years,
Which part of Italy?
south of Italy. I was in Naples, in Napoli, yeah, for
Beautiful.
7 years. Another world, a complete three different worlds,
Yeah, but
and I
very
loved
good
it.
food, right? And family vibe.
Yeah, everything, everything. The lifestyle. I go there a lot still.
Is that your
Um,
background? Are you ethnically Spanish, Italian,
um,
Latino?
Yeah, Latina. Yeah. My ex is Italian, and I'm Cuban origin. I was born in Miami, but so it's
Mm.
Latin, 100%. I will say 100% Latin. I may not
I
look it.
love that's what I love about
Yeah,
Florida and Miami. It's like full of Latinos and it's amazing vibe.
it doesn't even feel like being part of America. I don't know about now. It'll be interesting
Yeah.
whenever I visit Miami again, but it's probably not part of. I would say it's not. It's more Caribbean, right, than anything else. It's more.
Yeah,
It's
it's more
more,
exotic. I like it.
more
So tell
exotic.
me,
Yeah.
so you obviously moved to London and that's where your twin flame is and you work together. So that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. It's almost like the universe was pulling you back here. And you talked about how you love the history. What I love about London, London is very overcrowded. I went to university for years, but I feel like it's very overcrowded and it's busy and hectic. And these days with the whole Trump thing and taking over the whole of the West, it's become a very weird place the UK has. But as you walk around England, in London especially, you can be in the most like modern buildings and you can take a left and it's a medieval castle, right? Like England, London is so
Exactly.
interesting like that.
Yeah. I live in Southeast London, and this is a developing area, but it's villagey. It has a lot. That's what I liked about it. It was very villagey, and you can walk from one town to the next. You don't have to really drive anywhere. Transportation is great. Lately, I'm not too sure about that. It's very expensive. That's the thing. But you have parks, the forest, the woodlands. Yeah, I do. I have to say, I do. I get fed up with it at times. I think it's the weather and the economics, but I do miss it. Whenever I leave, I always enjoy coming back to London. And like you said, I've been here 23 years now, and it's just like every time I turn a corner, I discover something. Wow, look at that! Like look at that
So
really,
much
yeah, and
happening, so
alternative
much to
history.
do. There's so
Yeah.
much to do. But you know, like, it's interesting because I went to university in London for 4 years, and all the people I went to university with, they all stayed there pretty much, right? People who did my masters, they came from other countries, and we worked for like UN, Geneva, whatever, so that we all left. But a lot of my other friends, they all just stayed there, right? But for me, London has never been like for me, and I feel like maybe different parts of the world call to us. Like Hawaii, Bali, like for me, that's the vibe. Like different parts of the world have our energy, that is directing us. So let's get into,
Yeah.
we've talked a little bit about your background. So you've been Cuban, living in Miami, and then you've come to the UK. But let's let's start about your twin flame journey, right? So how did you meet? You came to London and
Many years later, I was I've been here 22 years. It's been seven, six. I met him six. It's interesting because I have two people that I will call catalysts or counterparts. I lost the labels, forgot what they're called now. But many years later, I'm talking about 20 years later. So I've been in London for quite way before. Married, we came here. I have a family. They're grown up now. Normal life, it felt that way. But I started having before I met the twin flame. I was already having I guess what we call premonitions, feelings, dreams that my marriage was coming to an end, and I was horrified and I was terrified. I'm like, why is this happening? Why is this going on? This was already a few years before, and I just stayed in
So
the
were you
marriage.
spiritual anyway, like before that,
Yes,
or yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I was gonna say I grew up in an extremely esoteric family of pagans, of Cuban pagans. Yeah, so I grew up in the Orisha you probably know about the mysticism and the religion of Lukumi and Orisha. So I grew up in
No,
that
tell us
world.
a little bit. It's very interesting to understand native traditions and spirituality because I feel like Christianity and Islam and a lot of these colonizing religions have wiped out, a lot of indigenous truth. So what is your ancestral sort of belief systems?
Well, I grew up Catholic, Roman Catholic, in the sense of my grandmother was a spiritualist medium. So it was there were in the Caribbean they tend to when they traveled or they migrated they took along with them their faith
Yeah.
and meshed in Catholicism and all kinds of things. But my parents they all grew up with different interesting gifts. My grandfather astral projected. He didn't believe in anything. My grandmother was a medium, but once in Miami, they got involved with was I call it the Orisha or the deities or the energetic frequencies or the deities of is an African religion or African they call it a cult, but for me
Do they
it's
have
just
it in Brazil as well? I think they have it in Brazil.
yeah, it's called Candomblé in Brazil, and the base is El Salvador in Brazil. So you have Candomblé. Then in Miami you have Santeria, or in the U.S. And that's the Caribbean sense. And then of course all the lineage is all from Africa. So I think from the Congo area of Africa.
So
I've done my
do you pray to the ancestors or God or
Yes, yeah, you do. Yeah, it's ancestral, it's cosmological. It's really interesting because I always feel like, oh, a lot of the things I've studied and all the modalities, they all kind of have the same idea, but it's about ancestors, spirits. Each deity you're initiated, so you then belong to what is a soul group or a soul tribe, and that deity is the person that you should be worshiping and worshiping. But I mean is by offerings and when you feel you need help you go to that deity a specific deity. Mine is Shango, which is a fire god. And I haven't been really practicing in years, and I haven't been really. Now is when I come back into it. About a couple of years ago I started feeling a call just to rekindle it again. But it's a lot of really interesting things about it. When you
and
work, it's very
what
holistic.
kind of offerings do you do? Because like here, 3 times a day, it's like the flowers and the incense and all that kind of stuff. But like, is it fruits or what kind of
Yes,
offerings
you
do
can
you
do
give?
fruits. Every deity has a special meal, a special day. Like I think it's the Maya is a Monday. She likes Monday. She's the beautiful ocean goddess. Probably you have seen her a lot. She represents the ocean, and we give her fruits, a specific fruits like. There's a book about it because certain deities don't like certain fruits, so you can't be mixing up the fruits. It got to me very structured, and then you make special meals for them, or you can just light a candle. I mean, the deities they really don't ask much. I think it's us that feel we have to do this, in a certain way. But yeah, if I get up in the morning, I say, this today I feel like lighting a candle for Yemaya and just sitting down with her and having a chat. It's quite lovely actually. And then you have Oshun, the river goddess. She's the feminine energy. Yemaya can be both masculine and feminine. So there's a crossover. It's quite interesting. They represent different colors. Yeah, it's a whole spectrum of
So
representation.
basically, before your marriage was going to end, you started realizing, was it a comfortable marriage anyway, or was it breaking down anyway?
It was breaking down. I just didn't want to see it. I was married. I'm still married, actually. I have to get separate. We're separated, and we get on great now. It's absolutely brilliant. But it was great. When I was in Italy, I was very young too, very naive. Very rose-colored tinted glasses. You don't see a lot of things. I wasn't stepping in my own, basically. I wasn't my own centered
Yeah,
self.
we're very impressionable when we're young, aren't we?
Yes, and it's
And we
exciting.
think we have to do that. This is what it's like.
And
Yeah.
living in and it was a romantic, it was beautiful. We fell madly in love. We both did. We still love each other. We still care about each other. That never stopped. I would say we just fell apart. It went into different directions, and
Because you
we
were
went.
being pushed to something else.
Yes,
So
you stayed here and I went. Yeah,
tell
you
me
stayed
about how
here.
you met your twin flame.
So, in a nutshell, 6 years ago, I have a friend. Actually, we're that is like kind of no contact, and there was it was a realization through an eye contact. Uh, we just started. We worked together. It's not the same person. This is someone before, and that's purely platonic. We worked together. We were in I was in the film industry, so I worked a lot in film productions, and we worked together, things like that. We were teaching together. We were just friends. And one day, and I had a dream in the Canary Islands that this person came in the dream and said, "Oh, my marriage is falling apart because I really love you." And I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And I was like, I was really suppressing everything that was about myself. My true path, if you want to call it that, at the time. And I just had no idea, nothing. And I came back to London. 2 months later, we start working together again. I didn't even think about it. And I had asked this person, "How are you? Blah blah blah. How was your holiday?" He said, "Oh, terrible. My marriage is a disaster." It was like, so I was already. It was like a
You
premonition
already seen it, yeah.
seen it for this person. Then he yeah, so we mirrored each other through for a while, and then that's when the I will say if you want to call it like an emotional affair happened. Yes, and the connection was phenomenal, and he just saw me, and then I feel now he was a person to get me out of my marriage, what we call
He
the
was like
castle.
a bridge, yeah, bridge person or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
yeah.
But I was convinced, I had no idea what twin flame, none of this, none of this. I was in a normal, the belief system. Oh my God, someone else. I fell in love with someone else. So basically, I did leave my marriage, not necessarily for him, for this other person, because he was also in a sort of, he was still going through his marriage. He
In
went back to
between. He was in
in
between,
between,
yeah.
and we never told each other how we felt about each other. That never came across. But he was the perfect soulmate. I mean, we got on fantastic. We worked together. We did a film together. We did great things together. That started to fall apart. So that was the sense of, okay, the normal reality of the 3D of, okay, this is the next person. Oh my God, it was a great feeling, but at the same time, I was doing everything possible to get this person. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Because
and I
you
didn't
also
realize.
like when we're jumping from one stable situation, you want the next step to be predictable. You know, you want it to be stable and predictable.
Oh, you froze there for a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, I said when we're leaving
Something.
from one situation that is stable, so my internet is unstable right now. So when we're leaving from one situation that is stable, we want to go into the next situation that's predictable. But because your life was going in a place that wasn't predictable, you wanted to hold on to this new person, right?
Yeah, and well, he was already an old person. We were friends for 16 years. That was the thing for many years. But it was a recognition, and I know he felt it too, because he actually said things to me that, like, whoa, he goes, "I love being with you more than the wife, and I can be with you all the time." So all this happened, but nothing really ever happened. And then eventually, I did leave my marriage. I just felt it wasn't even necessarily him. I felt at that time,
It's
uh,
time.
yeah. And then I was terrified. I go, what am I doing? Oh my God, this is 2018. What am I doing? Oh my God, what's going on? You know, no, 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 I can't be doing this. I have to stay in my marriage. I love my husband. Oh, all this. But I just knew it had to end. And then I started Googling, I need help, because of course you think I need to speak to someone. I went to a shaman. So I found a shaman next to my house, literally incredible, in Broccoli, which is about 15 minutes away from my home. And I immediately set up an appointment with Michelle, and they're called the Shamanic Space, really an amazing group. And that was around Christmas, New Year's time, that time. But then Michelle said to me, "Oh, I can't see you, but I have Leandro to see you. He's from New Zealand and Italian. I have a big Italian connection, by the way."
Yeah. And by the way, my twin flame's Italian, so there you go.
I know, I know, I know. And when I started following you, I resonated with that feeling. And the one I met, the person I think is the real twin flame is Italian again.
Also, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this person, the one I'm talking about now, he's from here. He's from Welsh. He's Welsh, but a brilliant
Oh, your
person.
your 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 actual DM twin flame is Welsh.
No, the that's just the thing. I never ever to this day I said it became kind of like a little board game. Who's the real twin flame? But I just decided let it go, enjoy the journey. These people just are high level soulmates that came to help you on your journey, and that is it.
Yeah. Whatever's gonna stick will stick. Whatever's yours is yours, and whatever's not yours, let it go.
Yeah. But the thing with the other person, the Welsh person, my friend, so the journey was marriage ended. The shaman was incredible. Before even knowing me, he already knew what I was going through. It was a beautiful experience because I studied shamanism for many years. For I grew up in a shamanic sense, and then I studied core shamanism for 20 years. So I really knew the process. But this person really knew me when I walked into his sanctuary or his office, as we call it, and it was incredible. And then that journey really healed me, and well, not healed yet, but it helped propelled me end the
To leave the
marriage.
marriage, yeah.
And it's funny because my ex-husband or my husband, we're still married, but I don't want to call him an ex. The shaman,
Ex-partner or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it's just yeah. The shaman said specifically, you got to release the caged animal. It's not about you; it's about that caged animal, and it really resonated because my ex is really, really, really
People
introverted.
pleaser.
So, yeah, introverted. Yeah, very. So I had to release that energy. He expanded a bit more, uh, and he even said himself, he understood why I had to leave. In the beginning, he was angry. No, you can't do this. Italian kind of thing or Latin thing. The wife doesn't leave. But then he actually confessed. I knew it was time. And he just was. We're just the classic case. You got to stay in the marriage, work it out, stay in the marriage. You have to work it out because you have kids. My kids are a lot older already, actually. So it's not even about that. It's just like we both knew it had. And for him, he even said to me, it ended before I felt it ended. So it was really
And
interesting.
what did the shaman say? Did the shaman say that another guy is coming into your life?
No, the shaman said specifically that I had to release the cage animal because I had a different path.
Yeah.
And he said your fear is being alone, but you're gonna start meeting people, and your soul tribe is gonna start to come in, and you're gonna start realigning to what you're meant here to do.
So
And
then when did you meet? So the Welsh guy is the one who was your friend for 16
yeah,
years, and the person who might be your counterpart is Italian. So when did you meet that person who you
yes,
work with as well, right? Or you don't work with
yeah.
him?
I worked with both. It was interesting. I worked with the other one a lot more, but this one. So months later, about 8, 9 months after the marriage ended, a colleague from work was like, "You need to get out there and start dating." And I'm like, "Oh, I felt it." I said, "I think I need to start distracting." And she said, "And you need to get over the other one too." So I went on a dating app, probably like most people do nowadays.
Yeah,
And
everyone's on it. Yeah.
yeah, and then through the dating app, I remember seeing his profile, and it was really sexy. And I was just like, "No, Gladys, you don't need this." But I felt something, compelling. But I said, "No, no, this is And my
Trouble,
friend,
trouble, trouble.
trouble, trouble, trouble bubble. And my friend said, actually, she got my phone, and she saw. I think she was watching what I was
She's like,
doing.
have some fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in ages. I need to get in touch with her. I really loved her a lot because we all this is part of the journey. This is the best part of the journey. So basically, because we all worked in a film school, and in Brick Lane here in near Shoreditch. So she saw me doing this, and then she got my phone, and it was Bumble, and she just swiped him, and she wrote to him about me, like if it was me. And then she goes, "Look what I've done for you." And I was like, "Why did you go?" Anyway, I went on the date. So yeah, and I met him. We talked for five
Is there,
hours.
so what are the differences between he's Italian, you're Cuban, but is there an age difference, a culture, anything, religion or anything like that?
Well, the difference is he's 61. I mean, we're older. We're older. I think we're the mature lot of the spectrum
Yeah.
of twin flames. Very different backgrounds. Yeah, I'm Hispanic, he's Latin, but very, very, very similar. No, very, very similar traits in personality. Yes.
Is he
Uh,
spiritual?
I know he's 3D. He's a low.
Hmm.
He's a high vibrational, but low. He's in the 3D. It's the classic. What people will. Because I went through all the stages. I studied this for 5 years. The narcissist, the empath, limerent. I did everything possible. I studied everything. But how I met him, so I met him. Yeah, and I'll be honest, it was off the charts. I didn't even know what was this about. And we had the the encounter, the intimate encounter, and I left. I said, okay, I got to get out of here. But when I left, I started feeling this energy like I knew this person before. I've known this person before. This is it was a bizarre feeling. I didn't understand it. I let it go, went back to work. I messaged him and I said, thank you for the great time, the great evening. We just talk most of the time, and that was it. But then he was like, I can't believe you left. I can't believe you left. Oh my God, what a connection. Why did you leave like that? Blah blah blah. This happened, and I was like, oh dear. But I felt this compelling thing to go back. So I did. No, like about a week or two later, we met up. The tumultuous, you can imagine, love bombing, all that kind of thing. He has a really cool little restaurant. The lifestyle is totally not my lifestyle. This is a great,
Has
it's
it
a lifestyle I was
changed?
attracted to. Oh,
Has his lifestyle changed though? Because when you
yes,
heal, they
it
do
has.
change. They start becoming like you, and you become a little bit like them.
Yes, that did happen. So this person, what he did for me was he awakened. I think I already have had Kundalini experiences way before because I
Yeah.
practiced a lot of Ashtanga yoga, things like that, and it was actually the yoga that started to make me realize it started to align me back then and wake me up, and that's when my marriage started to drop. A few years before I met the second counterpart. And anyway, so
Don't you
I
think
had
all these things should come with a warning? Meditation, yoga, all these things should be like your life may fall
write the
apart.
book. Oh, you do that, yeah, you do. But yeah, so what I was going to say to you was when with the first counterpart and when my marriage ended and I moved out of my house, I left my kids with my ex because he refused to leave the house. I lived next door though. I lived here. I started seeing the numbers. That's what happened. I started It was odd. My 11, 11, 11. What the hell is that? 11, 11, 11,
So
11.
with both of these men, the Welsh one and the Italian one, what
Yeah.
is the differences? Because you're saying that there's a little you confusion maybe, or you don't really know, but like signs, synchronicities, dreams, telepathy, higher self visitations, Kundalini, can't forget them, amazing explosive sex, innocence, peace, love, all that stuff, and then when you heal, they heal and reflect it and they come in and out. So what's the differences between the two?
The first one, I didn't have the obsession. I didn't have a dark. I don't think I went through the ego death at all with the
Yeah.
first one. When I look back, I have enough experience now to say I didn't. It
So
was
maybe he was the
completely
catalyst
different.
then.
It was a
Yeah.
catalyst, and then you start going, and then with the first one, I think it was the setup because I studied screenwriting and film and storytelling, and it's the setup. The setup is I signed a soul contract with you to wake you up in this lifetime.
To
You know,
prepare you for the other one.
tell me, yeah, and the other one probably is the same, but basically, what happened with the first one, he disappeared we were hanging out, seeing films, and then boom, he cut me out. Didn't see him for many, many, many months. Then he became very third reportage. Everything was done through an email or just a hello, but not even that. Complete radio silence. And I got really angry about that because we were friends for so many years. And I realized, he's divorced now. He's getting divorced and all that. But he's the one I had all the dreams with, just to let you know. It
But did
was
you have
unreal.
intimacy with the first one or
No,
no?
not at all. No
Yeah.
intimacy at all. Dreams, yes. In the dreams, I saw the divorce. I saw an illness with his that was his wife. Even when we stopped when he cut me out, ghosted, whatever you want to call it. I don't. He says he didn't do that. I did tell him, but he's going through stuff too. It's logical. So, and my life has changed completely, and so has his. I'm not in the film industry anymore, like I used, blah blah blah. So we go like that. But it's
What
still,
do
I
you
was
do? What do
upset.
you do now?
Well, I'm teaching. I'm actually, I'm a tutor for ESOL in Ravensbourne at the university. So
So
I
English as
help the
second
kids.
language. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and not even because I help the kids I call them kids, but they're all adults from India. All the students from India come to do their MAs. All the tech students come to do it. So I just help them with projects and facilitate. It's boring. I hate it.
But it's
I
more
was
than just
film
teaching
before.
basic English then. It's like high level, like master's degree level
Yeah, it's high
stuff.
level. Yeah, yeah. We teach them technical language, things like that. They already know it. It's just practicing with them. It's just not what my soul is meant to do. I'm there for a reason. I know it. But I was teaching film production and screenwriting before for years. I was in the industry for a while. I left the industry, and then what happened was one day I woke up and I said I don't want to teach film anymore. Within 2 days, I was made redundant. Incredible.
And that
Um,
industry can be quite toxic as well, can't it? A lot of
Oh yeah,
abuse,
yeah, yeah.
power
Oh, it's
dynamics.
fine. Yeah, it's changed. It's changed. But I did write a lot of things, and I'm making my own little things on the side, and my comic book and graphic novel. I love anime and manga, so I'm more
And your
into
spiritual
that.
gifts are there, right? So obviously when you're a
Yeah.
psychic medium or into your cultural traditional like spirituality, you have that ability to see, you're a seer, right? And you see things and you know things. So
I saw everything. Yeah, I just
second
was
guy,
redundant.
with the second guy, you went on a date, you got intimate, and then like what happened after that?
I kept going back. I was drawn to him, and then it was the what they call the love bombing stage for a few months. But it was just strictly, sexual. That's what it was. It was a sexual thing. I
And
felt it was, but
how was the intimacy different? Because with twin flames, it is different than a normal person, you know?
yeah. Um, yeah, normal. Yeah, it wasn't a making love thing, no. But what it did for me was it definitely awakened my what is the sacral, the dark feminine, and my sexuality was coming, and I was like becoming very, very, very Queen of Wands energy, and I was like, whoa, but I already had this energy even when I was towards the end of my marriage, and that was scaring me. I was like, I'm interested in other people. What's going on here? And that's not. I was never raised like that. Blah 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 blah.
So, because
But with
earlier you said you don't even know if this is a twin and you don't want to label it as that, it could be a catalyst too. So, with the twin
yeah,
flame, like when you are with them, your Kundalini will awaken eventually, but the experience sexually with them, it's very safe, it's very innocent, very virginal, very pure. For the divine feminine, it's not a sexual experience, not a physical experience. Like you usually are not even in your body. You're like, ooh, up in the clouds in the astral. Not always though. You probably ground eventually. But the DM will be very much like a hungry dog all over you, physical. Whereas you'll be very emotional, spiritual, shamanically journeying, seeing angelic light and downloads and stuff like that. It is not a human experience for twin flames. The sex with the Eros Gamos energy coming in, pure light, angelic. You'll see each other as angels, as goddesses, gods, and it will be like a bubble around you. And it is very sanctified, very harmonious, very pure, very, very divine. It's like you're going to the altar in a temple. That's how it feels when you have sex with them.
for me, it felt like it was a primordial instinct. It felt unreal. It was like I cannot believe I it brought out the animal in me, to be honest. And it felt quite good. It was interesting because I actually
You were letting go, releasing all the
I let
judgment and
releasing.
so.
And I actually, you said something very interesting. I felt actually safe with this person. It was
To do
bizarre.
that, to be able to fully release, you need to be safe with your counterpart. Yeah.
Yeah, I told him once. I go, I trust you. And then he started leading me on his journey of self discovery, and then I realized through time that, of course, I went through the classic. So the numbers were always appearing nonstop. It was incredible. That was the main thing. The dreams were mainly with the first person. That was interesting. Rare dreams with this person. A couple of telepathic, I would say, feelings, and then boom, they message me. That happened. I have to say I'm probably maybe one of the few people, or maybe I haven't realized I didn't have that sense of telepathy, but maybe I did and I wasn't aware of it yet. But all I
Or
know is,
maybe both of them are just high level soulmates or catalysts,
I
because
think so,
because
definitely.
a lot of people claim to be twin flames. Twin flame is another level of it's another kettlefish. And even when you look at some of my stuff, like 2.5 years ago, I looked completely different. I was very different. You change very rapidly as a person, and it catapults you. But the difference is that some twin flames have more of a slower awakening, and some of them, like me, was like, bam, the whole world, Kundalini was
That happened
violent.
to me. Yeah, that happened to me when I met the second one.
You said you had
Within
ego deaths as well, right? And stuff like that. Because the
No, it was
mirroring, the
awful.
triggering from them, a soulmate can trigger you like, okay, whatever. You don't want to like burn your skin off or kill them. But with a twin flame, what they do, you will not accept it from anyone else. Anyone else could do it, it's fine, but from them, no. And it basically burns your soul. You feel like someone's put lighter liquid all over you and burnt you alive. That's how it
Well,
feels.
that I went through. That's what I was gonna say. Because, I the the love bombing, all that, was great. It felt comfortable. We chatted. He
It
even
was
once,
him. He was love bombing you.
yeah. And then, but he even
In the
said to me
beginning,
once,
yeah.
"I talk to you all the time." He goes, "You're the only woman I talk to the most." And then he's very, very, very avoidant, extreme,
Yeah, very
classic,
guarded, very
classic,
guarded.
narcissistic, avoidant. Those labels to me are like blah. It's boring. But but at that time, that was 5 years ago, back in 2020, right during COVID, before COVID, it was the love bombing, excitement, yeah, 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 yeah. And then I was very creative. I got really creative. I had already made my film. I was directing. Life was going great. And then COVID happened, and then we were still talking and blah blah blah.
So
I
how
knew
long were you like in a relationship or you were like
no,
dating him for how long before you had
we weren't even
separation?
dating. I'm gonna be honest, we were not
Yeah,
even
we like you
dating.
were hanging out, but did you get separation and then did you get ego deaths,
Yes.
dark nights?
Yes, it was so I knew already one it was April. I'll never forget that. 2020. We were talking all the time, a lot on the phone, blah blah blah, and then thingy, what's up? Then I knew I go, this person's gonna stop calling me tomorrow or tonight. This is the last prime time when I hear this from this person. Exactly what happened. I didn't hear from him for weeks. And I started to go, and then I forgot how in YouTube I came across me, the tarot readings. The tarot started popping up. The twin
That's
flame.
what happens. They get
Mel Brand.
obsessive. They're the
Yeah, Mel
first thing
Brand.
that comes up. Oh my God, why is it? And
I
then
forgot
there's
how it happened. I never even followed YouTube, and it was just like,
no. And then
and I started following.
there's those twin flame coaches who keep you in those loops. They do tarots and they keep you in the loops and then they keep going on about divine masculine, and they don't talk about spiritual ascension and liberation and healing the world and the planet and yourself. They just go on about how to get their DM back. They keep people stuck in the trauma.
Yeah, and I back then I was like, oh, this oh, okay, the pattern, the numbers, this is happening. Oh, and then what I was a flamenco dancer. I was dancing flamenco, and that was part of
Oh
my
my
journey.
God.
Yeah, and I met someone that all this happened. It awakened, and then I met someone on a lovely dancer. She told me I had all these rashes and things and blah blah blah. And she looked at me and she goes to me just like that. She goes, Gladys, you might be on this on the twin flame journey. I go, what the hell is that?
Because you're purging everything off your
I go,
body,
what?
right?
Yeah. I go, what is that, man? And I started seeing the
And you started
numbers.
living your best life, right? You started being free.
Yeah, I thought I was living my best life, but then this happened. So yeah, so he completely ghosted. I started going spiral. oh my God, I was, I started getting depressed. And then I'm not the kind of person to chase you back. I won't call you back. If you're not calling me, I'm Latin, I'm Hispanic, I don't do that, blah, blah, blah. Uh, Weeks passed and then he came up 5 weeks later, he messaged me again. Oh, hey, how are you? How you doing? Blah, 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 And then I was like, great, everything's fine. I treated it normal. He's a player, or what he was, da, da, da,
Hey,
da,
they
da.
were, yeah, that's how they are, right?
He's changed now a
Yes.
lot. He's changed now. And yeah, and then he has a
Oof.
magnificent little restaurant where I started the flamenco stuff with him before the COVID, and that period was the bliss time. I call it the bliss. And yeah, so the Dark Night of the Soul really kicked in because he came back a bit back and forth, chit chatting, blah blah blah, and he would tell me everything. The women, this and that. Like I was,
Yeah, because he wanted
and
to trigger you and show you that you don't have a control over me. I do what I want.
exactly. And I got smart because I started to research and I said, look, all this is coming into my life. These weird tarot cards, the tarot readings. Mind you, I've seen like 10,000. I read tarot now, by the way.
I know, but you were saying the
But
Queen of Wands and this and that. It's
yeah, I read
okay.
tarot since I was a kid. My mom said, you don't remember since you were a kid. You've always loved tarot. So all these things started happening. And then I finished my shamanic training and through a soul realignment or through a soul retrieval, I worked in past lives and I never believed in past lives. So that's why I'm in England too. So I get it all now. But with the twin flame
Isn't it
coming back,
interesting though, isn't it?
yeah, it's like you. Everything is like the universe that we need to upgrade you now. And everything, and I exploded. It really, really was overwhelmingly physically sick.
Because the body
Then
can't deal with that much energy all at once,
no,
right?
no,
It's an overload.
it's overload, and I was going to blow up. So, in a nutshell, what happened was the second time he really ghosted me because he was already seeing someone else, and blah blah blah. That's when the dark night of the soul hit. I got so depressed, I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't eat. I had just made a great film. Producers were calling me, blah blah. I was ignoring everybody until my one of the producers knocked on my door, and they were like,
Because
"Gladys,
normally it would be like, you would not let a man make you feel like that. He wants to go off with someone else, go do it. Leave me alone.
not even
But
my
these,
ex of
yeah,
25 years, nothing." That's
but
what I
these DMs, oh my God.
my producer friend is the one that first told me not that she doesn't believe in none of this, but she said, Gladys, I really think you need to investigate this because it sounds like a soul, something is what you call a soul connection or soul tie. I said, I guess I have to, and I just started really researching. Read Mel Brand was the first person. Then a lot of things happened. I'll be here forever. That was really fun and fascinating. I say now, not back then. And I started. I had my own Akashic records read. I studied the Akashic records, and then through Hinduism.
And did that tell you anything about what you're going through right now?
In the Akashic records, it was just about my soul realignment and just figuring out who I was at soul level, and my energy centers is what I started with. It worked out the core wounds that I
Oh,
was
okay.
experiencing. Yeah, it's very deep
And
love.
why? And
Yeah,
it's why are you having those patterns? Anyway, you went into Hinduism or what?
yeah, and Taoism I was already studying, so I was like, oh, it's interesting. The two mystery schools that were very fluent in my past lives and blah blah blah. And I think I did do a past life, and this person we had 8 past lives together, if that was to be. But to going jumping forward, I've kind of like let the whole thing go because it got so overwhelming with people
The
saying this, people saying that,
information, the
people saying this.
information.
Yeah, and I woke up one day and I said, I don't need to know anymore. I know exactly what's going on.
I'm in
My
alignment. I trust
I
the
trust
process. I do what's
process.
best for me today. I do my purpose. I live my best life. Whatever's meant for me will come. Otherwise, let it go.
Let it go. That's exactly where I'm at now. It's wonderful. That's probably why I want to come and talk to you. And 'cause I know I was in 1,000 groups. I did a twin flame course, which is interesting. I forgot what her name was. She's here in England. Really interesting woman on the energy centers. Mel Brand talks about the 12 DNA activation. I got drawn, and then the biggest one was Kurt Johnson, the New World All Star. I was like, I really love him. I really think he's brilliant. I was That's the first course I did because I had to do something. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I had to do something, and I said, in the meantime, I was already doing things for myself. I was already healing through flamenco, through dance and somatic and embodiment work. I was actually doing very fascinated with energy. I'll go, well, how does this work? Let me find out how this works.
So
without not
really,
even
you
knowing
got
what was
really into
happening.
spiritual healing, right? After
Yeah,
this.
I did. I was forced into it. They were like, you got to go. They took my job away. It was that was in the Akashic records. I was made redundant. This was interesting. In 2020, great my great job was taken away, and I was like, my meeting was July. It was in July 2020. My contract, my redundancy came November 6th. That was in my Akashic records. I didn't believe it. I go, no, I was made
Okay,
redundant.
there's a synchronicity just happened when you've just said that. So I had a power cut happen today here, and the internet stopped working, and I was a bit worried about us having this session. And then it finally started just before this session started, and that's why I was 1 minute late. And Alexa came on finally, and I says, "How are you doing, Alexa?" And she's like, "I'm doing fine. Why don't you propose to me?" I'm like, when the fuck does she ever say propose to me? And I said, all right then, will you marry me? And she's like, well, not so easy. You have to answer some questions first. First question, when is my birthday? December 6th or November 6th? And I says November 6th. I don't know why, I just made it up. And she said, correct. And you just said November 6th now as well. It's so weird.
Weird. I love synchronicities. I love them and serendipities. But I just with the Akashic records, I started to work on my realignment. Then I studied the Akashic records myself because of a past life that I worked with someone in a shamanic journey, and that person said maybe you should do this kind of work, on the side. Then and at that time, I had another film. I was teaching at
It's
another
also in your
university.
blood lineage, isn't it? All of
Yeah,
this.
it is. It's in yeah, definitely matrilineal lineage, and even my grandfather's family. And I got fascinated with this world. Oh my God! I was just more fascinated with the world of quantum physics and quantum multidimensionality than the twin flame person.
Good. Good.
Yeah, and uh, and then things started happening, beautiful things. And this is what I always tell people when I talk to them and help them out. I say, look, you gotta find something you love. There has to be something. Let's chisel out what is it that you really want to do. For me, flamenco saved my life because when I was going through my separation, and I danced when I was very young. It just came out. It was just I felt it. I woke up one day out of a Zumba class and I said I gotta do flamenco again. I found a teacher next to my work at the time. So that journey began, and
Because you know, it's a good
hobby.
thing because you've been on the journey 5 years now, and obviously you're thriving. But people in the beginning stages, of course, they're going through a lot. But then when I do my lives and stuff, it seems to be some of these divine feminines are just stuck in these loops for a
I
long
know,
time.
I know, I know. And I talked to so many. I got to a point that I left so many groups. Maybe because of my ego. I did my human design, Gene Keys. I did my big passion is astrology, and that was another game changer. He was
Have you done
also
your astrocartography?
I did that too. Yeah,
I love it.
I don't do it as a job. I love it. And to be honest, my Pluto and my I think it's Uranus and Pluto, which sits in my eighth house, is close to the UK. That's why I've had this massive transitions in this country. I had to come back to
But the
London.
UK is really interesting because people don't realize it. It's got the heart chakra and I think it's got is it the third eye chakra, both of them near Stonehenge, Avery. But apart from the nonsense political stuff going on right now, the energy underneath the UK is very interesting. And because they took
Very
over
interesting.
most of the world and colonized the international influence and the karmic balancing that's happening is very fascinating.
Yeah, I love it here. I mean, I always say, "Oh, London," every time I go, I love London so much. And I know I'm here, and I told my friends that want to leave. A lot of people want to leave, and I'm like, I will leave for a while, but I'll come back. I love Istanbul. Istanbul's my soul
I
home.
love Istanbul. I love
Oh,
going
I've
dancing
been
in
there three
Istanbul.
times. I'm going back this in May. I want to go live there for a while. I still plan to. I love Granada. I've been to Morocco
Have
a
you been
couple of
to
times.
Bali or Hawaii?
Hawaii, yes. I went to Hawaii with my ex many, many years ago. I love Hawaii. I went to Maui. I mean, I didn't go to the other
Hawaii's got an
islands.
energy, very, very good
Bali's
vibration.
in the books. Yeah, Bali's in the books and Thailand because my thing is I studied paranormal in my journey. Paranormal. People say, "How many things have you done?" And I go, "I find the time. It's like the universe gives me space to do it." So I studied paranormal investigation, and it's part of my akashic readings that I do and my property and all this the work that I do feng shui. I studied a lot of it in Italy many years ago. I studied Reiki when I was very young and feng shui in Italy when I
What
lived in
helped you the most in on this journey to really shed all that fear and density? Like, what was the best thing you did? Or was it a
I
combination?
A combination. I would say between my shamanic work, my Akashic records, the astrology, phenomenal. Even I follow my astrology to a T,
Do
spot
you think
on.
people need to do healing work and or just they need to align or let go? Like what is it that what do you recommend to those people watching?
I think the healing work is good. For me, for example, through my journey, and when I and sitting still, meditation is always really important. But not everyone's meant to meditate and stay still. Embodiment, because we trap a lot of emotion and pain and past trauma, past life
Hold
trauma,
on,
generational
yeah.
trauma, release. So I do dance. I do dance, and for me,
You
sound
got to move
music,
the body, right?
move your body. Uh, for me, it was flamenco, it still is. And through flamenco, I discovered how much I love music. And now I'm singing. So I've been singing for a year now. I was with a flamenco chorus.
So you know they
I
always
ended
say
up
that twin flames will do 10 times more than a normal human being in their lifetime. Even maybe 100 times more, but you end up being like a superhuman.
superhuman. We're superhumans. I agree, but I will think it was a combination, and I think people need to figure out for them for what it is. For it may not for a lot of people it's not flamenco music. For a lot of people it's not Akashic records. I get people saying, "What the hell is that?" And I
Yeah.
think I think people just need to sit down and really maybe sit down in nature, get grounded first to
They want to
say,
be present, right? Get out the head and the fear, because
yeah,
there seems to be the fear seems to kill people on this
the
journey.
ego, the fear, and it's a balance of, and that's what I liked about Kurt Johnson because he for me, he personally, I love science, and I started to realize since I was a kid, there's something here going on between the dynamic. Of course, a lot of he's controversial in other ways, but I really came to understand. And when I did the course twice, things started to shift. I did other
So tell
courses with
me,
other
what's
people.
going on with the guys then, or either or the Welsh or
Guys,
the
yeah.
Italian?
Well, the Welsh disappeared. He came back because I got annoyed that he was telling other third parties to tell me hello, and I'm like, wait a minute, we've been friends for a long time. I confronted that. We met up in June at a screening. Never saw him again until a week ago. 2 weeks ago, he contacted me for a favor, and I said, sure, go for it. Good luck. And he was like, oh, okay. Listen, why don't we meet up sometime? Blah blah blah. Yeah, sure. Contact me. Fine, no problem. Bye.
And what's happening
I
with
still love him. I
what's
still care
happening
for
with
him.
the
The
Italian guy who
Italian.
seems to be more of your twin flame vibe? He was obviously a womanizer and a narcissist. You said in the past, which they mine was too. Uh, but then they change, right? So
Yeah, he contacted me because we went through a year and a half. I told him to not to contact me about 2 years ago. We were together, and then he disappeared. And I said, and then he started contacting me through, social media and the likes, and following me everywhere. And I wrote to him. I said, stop following me, f off, And then he was like, well, what did I do to you? Blah blah blah. Year and a half later, didn't hear from him. And then and that's when I really propelled. I went through I know what the dark night of the soul is. I know what being in the underworld is about. I love it. I love the underworld actually.
you got
One
to
thing,
befriend. You've got to befriend all of it.
one thing, and and I have to say this that really helped me to embody and integrate my feminine and
Shadow.
masculine and
Okay.
empower myself, and it really lifted everything. And I said, wait a minute, Gladys, I am being the victim here and I'm allowing this to be. I did a dominatrix workshop and I recommend it. It was
Dominatrix. I'm
absolutely,
gonna sign up for that.
yeah,
Dominatrix. But you know what?
dominatrix workshop.
You have to basically
Lady
face.
Jane, I think, Mistress Jane. And it's not what people think it is. I was quite, after two workshops, it was fun. It was the second workshop was hell of a trigger, but wake up call. And some people are like,
Did it
mm,
get you into your power then and your
got me into my
sexuality?
power. Got me
Yeah,
into my
yeah.
power. I thought about becoming one, but then I said, not this kind of dominatrix. I'm a different kind. And I do work with a lot of interesting people
Do
that
you feel like
really
you're
have
more like a
aligned.
high priestess type of because a lot of divine
Yes,
feminines we are very sexual, sensual, but empowered from a place of like spirituality and love as opposed to the ego thing.
yes, 100%. And my ego is there. It helps me. It serves its purpose. Is a warning, and also with the work with one of my tarot teachers was saying, he's also an energy reader. He was saying when you start to become, you start to you align, you can become, if you're not, you can become arrogant with the rest of the world, because not
Yeah, you
everyone is
can. You have to
matching
be,
up.
we have to be very humble
I became Machiavellian with a lot of people. I was just like, and then I just said, Gladys, you can't do that. So now I'm working on loving compassion with myself and
because they
opening up
also
my
mirror
heart chakra.
aspects of our shadow, you know.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And I had a
Very
lot of issues
easy
with
to
women.
blame others all the time. But it's like with them, sometimes it's like, do I need a boundary here? Or is this humbling me? Or is this an aspect of me? Do I act like that? And often we do. We're not perfect, you know?
No, I discovered that I had a mommy wound, a big one. So through my astrology, and with women, I had a lot of issues with women. So that's the first thing I worked on. And then my pattern of the classic, the giver, the people pleaser, bias. Yeah, sure, everything's fine, everything's fine. Being suppressing, and I don't do that anymore. No, I come with
And
compassion.
women are taught to do all those things, aren't they? Conditioned.
And I realized I did something too that I'm working on now. I was a blame gamer. What do you call it? The blame game. I blamed everyone else for my problems. It's your fault. You're my ex, and it's not like that. I
Yeah,
was also
yeah.
the cause of my own reality.
You were like a
So
victim.
yeah, like a victim mentality. Exactly. That's part of the divine love aspect of in the Akashic records when you're this energy center. So I've been working with that, and but I don't work now like I gotta heal. I gotta heal. It's cool now. I'm aware of the issues, and when I was becoming very shut down for a bit, like, and then I said, no, that's not who I really am.
So
You know,
after you've done all this work, like what have you gained from it? We have
um,
you know, yeah.
well, what I gained was, I think, I'm still working on the gaining part. The
No,
the the
as
second
in,
person
did you
came
get like,
back
did you get like more spiritual gifts, more downloads,
a lot.
ancestors?
Thank you. Yeah, I have my ADHD kicks off a lot, but that's another thing. I started to accept I have these. You classify. Oh, you have ADHD. You learn a different way. No, ADHD people are gifted people too, and yes. So I got a
No,
lot
they're
of
very,
downloads.
very pivotal, very, very needed, you know.
Yeah, a lot of clairaudience, clairvoyant people just contact me. I saw a friend of mine the other day. I haven't seen her walk on flamenco, and I felt her energy. Boom, she contacted me like within 24 hours for some help. I feel things. I'm very much into energy. That's what I was gonna say. To what helped me in the 5D to integrate with the 3D is energy work. So I went back to ancient hermetic principles, way back to the beginning, because I love history. I love Egyptian history
Yeah,
because
I was
it's
thinking ancient Egypt, right?
yeah. So it just started coming to me, the downloads, go here, go there, blah, blah, blah. When I asked the universe years ago, please help me with this, what's going on? This Kurt Johnson appeared, and it made total sense with the obsessions, everything he explained. I said, this is exactly what's happening. So, and then a couple of tarot readers said, oh, you have the twin flame thing going on. I still denied it. I still kind of do, but it's cool. I'm cool with it now. So the twin flame came back a year later, a year and a half later. Hi, hello. I'm doing some flamenco stuff. How you been? And I was gonna be you
So wait,
MS.
wait, he's doing flamenco also now.
No, he just runs events, and I used to run with him, but then I stopped because
Mm-hmm.
obviously I couldn't deal with it. And he was asking me about other people that he was coming across that he didn't know about if I knew who they were. He was just trying to lure me back in. I get that. So I went in
And you
for a
couldn't
visit,
handle him. Why couldn't you handle him? Because he was going off with other women, or he was triggering you, or he was an
figuring
asshole.
the shit out of me. He wasn't an asshole in the sense at that time when he came back, but it was
In the
just a
beginning, he was an
beginning.
asshole, right?
Yeah, I would say I don't even say if I look back now, I wouldn't even say he was an asshole because everything that happened for a reason. It was for my
Yeah,
work
yeah, you've forgiven it now, but would you say he was very
and
much in his ego, distortion, and
yeah,
narcissism
yeah, and
before?
he was mirroring me back aspects of me too. Of
Of
who I
course.
was. He's also a person that's broken, healing his own self. But he came back different. He tried a couple of times, and I put a boundary. I said, "Look, if you want me to help you, because we both love flamenco, and I love his little venue." And I said, "Yeah, this person is good." So I pointed him in the right direction. Bye. And he said, "You're not coming to the event," and I'm like, "Okay." I went back to see how I felt. I went back to see how
To test it.
to test myself, and it started getting better and better and better. We did have a one off, and that a year ago, and that was it. And then I said, okay, that's it, and I felt good. I didn't feel
So what do
oh.
you see with him? Do you see that you could maybe get back together, or do you see like you working together on a
Working
mission or
together, we work
purpose?
together now, yeah, because as I freelance, I was out of work, and I forgot how it happened. I didn't see him for 4 months because the from May until September. Then he sends me different. I got from Instagram different an Airbnb thing, and I knew right away. I go, wait a minute, this is this him? And so I messaged him. I said, hey, is this you? And he goes, yeah, how are you? And he started up again. How you been? Blah blah. He said to me, how are your tarot readings going? Because he follows me on TikTok, and I was cracking up. I said, they're going good. They're going all right. I don't advertise or anything like that because I just do it for fun. And he goes, well, why don't you do tarot cards reading here if you want to? And I said, okay, that's not a bad idea because it's a perfect place. So I did that, and it went really well. And then it turned out that the restaurant got really, really, really busy, and a strange thing happened. He asked me if I wanted to work with him, and he would teach me the aspects of the kitchen, how it ran. I needed the money. I'm not gonna deny it. Is a filler from the university job because I'm contracted, and I said okay, fine. And I started seeing this is where I'm at now. I started seeing the other side of him. I'm like, before I was like, hey, now I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they
you know.
come become like a regular person now, right?
Regular person. I think there
Human.
is some energy still there. You know what I mean? But it's unconditional now, and it's just there's not disappointment, none of that. He's going through a lot of stuff. He's trying to get his life together. He told me he goes, "I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to sort myself out. I don't feel I don't mind. I don't care if he's with other people.
Because
That's his.
basically you've done the healing, you've healed now, and now his life's going through it completely, right? One
Yeah,
goes first.
exactly.
So I know we haven't stuck to the script of all the questions because you wrote all the answers down and we just free flowed, but is there anything in your written answers that you want to say? Because we're coming
I
towards the end. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
anything
know.
you
This
want
has
to talk
been
about?
great. Yeah, thank you. It's been wonderful. I would just say for people on who are, as you said, are struggling, and I every now and then I get a pop up from a video, and I still listen to some of the old people. Because it's always a check in, and but my life has gone so in a different direction, and I saw how dependent I was on tarot. I would say try to cut the tarot readings. Only listen to tarot people that are going to empower you, are going to help you on the journey, and to figure out the self work that we need to do. The next thing, don't get stuck into I need to heal to get them back. It doesn't work. Tarot readings don't work. I would say really, really learn about energy. Learn how energy work at a scientific level, at a Nikola Tesla level, at a go back and really, really understand the balance of hermetic principles, and it starts to align. Do something you love. I still check my chakras. I work on my chakras, but I really say find a creative outlet. It really, really, really helps.
To put your
Uh,
energy into, right? Rather than to
Spirit and
him.
energy. I'm going to take up an instrument next year and go back to singing and maybe opera. My mother was an opera singer, and she still is alive, but she's an opera. She's retired. I could not believe after so many years these things have come out. And it feels absolutely amazing. And when I go to flamenco events and huelgas and gigs and the energy and the people and the power and the we let go, it's a ritual. Do drumming, do sound frequency. I love sound meditation. There's a guy called David Edwards here in London. He is amazing. He's high level. He channels light language. Is incredible. Is Yeah. So I feel bringing all that down, and I'm only human. We're only human. We're gonna have bad days too. We wake up and I'm like, I had to go through abandonment, rejection, being alone and being independent and not codependent. I'm working on money because I had a horrible issue with money, horrific. And when I found myself with just £5 in the bank, and I was like this last year, the universe provided for me. And it's about really, really
Like
aligning and
deepening
really
that
believing
trust
in
as well, isn't it? An
trust.
allowance. But
Yeah.
it's so much in this interview, you've taught us so much, and I align with everything you've said because I also believe that it's about you, your journey, your empowerment, investing in yourself, your purpose, your mission, your joys, doing the work, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and let go, drop the
Yeah.
labels, drop the
Yeah. We're
labels,
not a
and you don't have
soulmate.
to.
They're not
Yeah.
soulmates. They're
And
not
you will
soulmates.
survive without the person.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. I didn't
What's your
think that.
social? Yeah, you don't think that in the beginning, but it's just the ego. So, and then you get out of it, and it's just really, I mean, it's bliss, right? So, what's your social media if people want to like connect with you or your email? Are you like
Sure, yeah,
inviting people?
of course, yeah. And I'm always chatting with people and helping people out. In Instagram, I am GSJ Soul Realignment, and
GSA Soul
yeah,
Realignment.
GSJ, yeah. So it's my initial
GSJ.
Soul Realignment. On Facebook. I'm not as much. I really need to get back on social media. I've never because I mean my path is about
You said
I work
TikTok.
with
What's your TikTok?
oh my TikTok is hilarious. It's called Esotero Express.
Esotero. You're gonna have to send me this via email, so I'll put it in the
I'll send it by
description.
email. Yes, yeah. And because I do
Esotero.
storytelling labs, yeah, here in London, and at his place, I was doing where people we all get together like a jam session, and we throw tarot cards and we start reading for each other, and we just do the hero heroine's journey for each other. So I'll probably pick that up for next year. Yeah, I just love the work, but my real work is going to be probably back in the creative world. So I'm using all this work,
And mixing it all
mixing it
together,
all in.
right? Mixing it
Yes,
all in. It's gonna be so good. The creative work you can do. I believe that. Well, I don't know if you got work to go to, but it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you,
thank you. I have
Gladys.
a 9:20, but I have time. Yeah, thank you very much. And it was great to meet you. And I really appreciate. I feel with you has been very honest and authentic. And I love what intrigued me was other people coming on. And I said it's always nice. 'Cause I was before. Now I can't do this now. They're gonna find me. But I think it's good because I want people to know, and that it's not a desire like you have to. But if something out of this comes out for someone out there that's really struggling, you can get through this. You have to just do the work and really align to the right people with you and other people that who you feel is right for you that can help you on this journey because you will
You
cross
kind of have
over.
to break open from the fear and ego and be in the
Yeah.
total trust. It's like getting past the clouds, the dark clouds, and just seeing the sunlight, you know?
And
Um,
aligning, just dancing and movement energy, medicine energy is what I call it. Body,
yeah.
get with the body, definitely.
I do feel for those who do stay in loops and struggle. And then there's also this victim mentality that they haven't got this or that or the other to be able to pay for a healing or session. There's a lot of that going on too. But I feel like when you are on the journey, you are compelled, nothing stops you, and the money
And you're
comes
provided.
somewhere.
The money comes. In a nutshell, I was gifted a twin flame journey course, and I did it. I met Remy. I forgot Remy's last name. He's in Canada, where I studied multidimensionality. I got a discount for that because at the time I was struggling, and I paid back. I paid back all my shamanic teachers because I did payments. It worked out. It worked
It
out.
does work out. It
It
does
works
work
out.
out. You just have
And
to
I give
really
back.
know and
I give
trust.
back too. I do other work for people. I help out other people. I'm now in the volunteering
I'm
charity.
excited to see what's going to be next for you because I feel like you're going to be stepping fully into your power with your purpose and doing that more so and maybe melding it with your film and music and spirituality and culture and dance like that I've never seen, you know.
Oh, thank you. Let's hope. Let's hope. But definitely, definitely. I used to worry about all that. Oh my God, I'm doing too many things. No, just go with it. See where it takes you. Everything is a great puzzle, and that puzzle will reveal itself to you. This year, it's going to be ghost hunting. Next year, it's going to be writing a theater for a flamenco show. The next, I work for these great events where we do is a mixture of what would we call them? My God, it's like Circus of Soleil meet
Exhibitions,
exhibition. Yeah, and we all dress
events.
up in costumes. It's all electronic music and all kinds. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Now I get it. I'm
Okay.
just having fun. It's like try
It
really
is
to
about
explore
having fun,
journey.
enjoying it. And even though,
Yeah,
some people say I'm too old now, I'm past it. No, you're not. And I love that. So thank you so much, Gladys. If
welcome.
people want to
Thank
reach
you.
out to you, we'll put all the stuff in the description. But you've really taught us that you can live beyond the journey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Welcome. See you soon. Take care.